Hey everybody, welcome on in to Sports Live in the 215. Sports Live in the 215, excuse me. Today we'll discuss my first 2 years of college at Harford Community College. Um, so yeah, the spring and summer of 2020 were um, a whirlwind for all of us who experienced it. Like just there were a lot of deaths, a lot of sickness, a lot of sicknesses, like all this really bad stuff, like protests over the George Floyd stuff. Kids, if you uh, don't know what that is, just read it in the history books, I guess. Um, or you'll read it in the history books, not I guess, but anyway, so yeah, a lot happened, and also a lot happened in my life. Like, I got the a I received membership into the National Honor Society for the 1920 school year, so that was incredibly humbling. And then obviously going to like starting college is weird in general, but starting college in the middle of a pandemic was just freaking weird, man. Like um like my classes were over Zoom. Um so like at least I got to like we we got to stay excuse me, we got to stay home, or we had to stay home because of the pandemic and the whole like shelter in place deal. So yeah, that was that was a challenging way to start college. Um, I can remember a lot of really good teachers that I was able to have at my time at Harford. Um, my second semester, I'll never forget it. W- that was the first time I took one of my favorite professors. His name is Wayne Hepler. I forget what class it was, but like he was just so like understanding and really just empathetic toward my situation. Like he still was gonna treat me like every other college student. Um and like that's one of the things I really respected. And like a lot of my professors were like that. And I can I I can luckily count on one hand the number of bad professors or even bad teachers in general that I've had throughout my life. Like, and saying that is it's such a cool thing. Um, just because, well, I mean, it shows that um my family knows the value of a good education. So yeah, let's get into the stuff that happened. Um, so in this I want to say the spring of, or actually before we get to that spring, like it was in spring of 22. Let's talk about like the um the fall of 2020. I actually made it onto the dean's list in my first semester of college. um, which I'm gonna be real. The only reason I probably did that, even though like I know I'm a good and I know I'm a good student and a smart guy, is probably because like there were like no extracurriculars, um, like that I was involved in. So um, because of the whole shelter in place deal, I wasn't sure if like if if the Harford baseball team was gonna have a season or how that would shake out. Um, but yeah, being on the dean's list was such an honor, and then my second semester working with professors like Wayne um, was re- was awesome, and everybody at Harford, and I felt this way at Patterson too. Everybody at Harford just wanted me to succeed, and I was really their first case of someone who had a disability but had the mental capacity of your average like college student. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of let's try this. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. Um, and so on and so forth. But it was just I met like a lot of really cool people at Harford. My friends um, David, Haley, Lauren. Um, I got to know my I got to know my friend Adam Alkatib because he was a junior when I was a senior. Um, so like that wasn't in the fall of 20. That didn't start happening until later. Um, but yeah, it was just one. It was just like a special group of people. Like we all had a bunch of classes in that TV studio room. So um, yeah, and those night classes can be brutal, but if you have people who are just so passionate about what they're learning and like the information that they're gathering or like whatever it is they're doing, whether it's working on a student film, whatever it is, that's just such a special thing. And yeah, and I would always laugh because my friends David and Lauren would always argue like an old married couple. So that always made me laugh. And then obviously fast forwarding a little bit. So my first year of college, the fall of 20 and then the spring of 21, um went by pretty well, and then my unfortunately, like because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the supply of the regular plastic that my braces or like my mophos are made out of was short. Um, so they made my braces with they had to make a really they had to make my braces with a really like uncomfortable plastic. It and I was in so much pain that I couldn't sleep. I really like I just felt just so um just gone. Like I was physically like in my classes, but mentally like I was not there at all. Um and then somehow I was once they got the supply of that more comfortable plastic back in, I was able to sleep, and then my grades started to come back. My mood felt better, um, and things just started to kind of snowball. Um, in the fall of 21, that's actually when when I got involved, when I officially got involved with the baseball team. I talked to Coach Hauser. He was like, "Yeah, sure, like, come on." And so, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. But yeah. So at the end of the fall, going into the winter, um, or I think like maybe mid fall, my like the new plastic gets in, and I start to sleep better. Like my mood starts to feel better, and things go things start to go a lot more according to plan. Um, and then in the in in the spring of in the spring of 20 um oh actually before um I should have mentioned this when I was talking about my first semester, but um this is my first day of my sociology class, and my professor just randomly goes, "Hey, like, hey, like, so you guys know, like, I'm gay," and I was like I didn't say anything, but it was just weird. But yeah, that was one of the strangest experiences I think I've ever had. And then like the next day, I was in or I think like the next week, like I was after that happened, I was in my English class, and I got like I got scolded for like I guess like confusing the other students. My English teacher at that time was absolutely horrible. But anyway, back to the good stuff. So in the yeah in the like fall of 20 actually winter actually late fall 21, things things go all like according to plan, and I was ready for this the spring semester, and the baseball season coming up. um and that baseball season, we went, I want to say 48-19. um it was just one of those things. Um, we had a bunch of All Americans. Joe Quelch, our center fielder, leadoff hitter. Trey Cruz, our two hole hitter, playing shortstop. Um, Zach Oswald, one of our four aces. Um, and our bullpen was absolutely nasty. Joe Grossi, um, Austin Biddle, Frank Sciano. I'm 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 trying to think of who else. My God, man. Um, the- um, it was I wanna say it was, I think his first name was John Silder. He was absolutely nasty as well. He was in my environmental science class uh in the fall of 21. So that's how we knew each other. What's up, Silder? Love you, buddy. And all my teammates at Harford. What's up, guys? All my former teammates and but the thing that was really special about the 2022 um Harford Owls is we just all cared about each other, and we had a real like business like kind of approach to the way we play the game. Like we saw each game as a new opportunity to just um to just kick the crap out of whoever we played. And um more often than not we didn't. I don't think we lost back-to-back games until we got to the Junior College World Series. So it was it was such a special team. And if I didn't mention if I didn't mention um if I didn't mention my other teammates, is because there were just so many dogs on that team. Like I if I were to mention everybody, this this video would end up being like an hour long. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like our our, our four aces: Zach Oswald, Connor Blantz, um, um, Braden Carpathios, who was also our designated hitter, and he played a little bit of first base, and Marcos Del Valle. Like those guys anchored our rotation. And for the number 4 spot in the rotation, since Marcos was injured to start the year, Bobby Spencer and Austin Biddle did an absolutely incredible job. I remember Biddle. I want to say he threw he threw a complete game shutout in the first game of a 7-inning doubleheader. He was just absolutely incredible. I remember I forget who that doubleheader was against, but I remember and another doubleheader we had against Monroe. Who that was the team who had knocked Harford out of the playoffs the year before. My friend my friend Bobby threw a 7 inning complete game where he only allowed one run, and we won. I want to say we won 3-1, and then or actually earlier in that game. I'm just saying this because I'm remembering it. I was actually in the dugout for both games of the doubleheader, and Braden actually started game 1 of the doubleheader against Monroe. His pitch count was high after like 4 innings, and I can remember him talking to, I think it might have been Andrew Sasinski, who all of our teammates just called Ski. But Carp was saying like I can't believe Hauser took me out. Like I only had one bad inning, and I after he was done talking, I was like, Cart, stay locked in. But by the end of today, you're gonna have an impact. I promise you. So please stay locked in. And wouldn't you know it, in the second game of that doubleheader, Carp hits a home run to put us up by 2. And anyway, actually, in the first game, we actually won on a walk off home run by Jeremiah Guzman, who I want to say was um our our um our left fielder. I'm forgetting, but yeah, that was absolutely electric. Um, and then seeing Cart do his thing at the end of game 2. And when he came into the dugout, I just gave him a hug and I was like, "What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Let's go!" And he actually Carp actually ended up getting drafted by the Padres in the 2022 MLB draft. So he's a pretty good player. I also played with one of my old one of my brother's old friends from his Little League baseball days in Taney. This guy's name was Blake Blake Mayberry. We hold on, excuse me. We would always call him Bowel Movement because he was the shit. Yeah, that's just one of the many funny things like those guys on that team came up with. Like it was just such a fun group of guys, and as as we get further away from 22, like the pain of losing back-to-back games in the World Series doesn't sting quite as much. But it's really funny how that works. What else? And then yeah. So and then in the or actually this also happened in the spring. It's when my friend and I had that falling out. Yeah. But yeah, and then in the fall of 22, I found out 8 days before that semester that one of my friends that I went to school with, that I rode the bus with to Bankbridge, actually died because of a brain tumor. So that was not a fun way to that wasn't a really fun way to lead into my last semester at Harford, but and I'm gonna end this video on a positive note. Like in my marketing class, I think I started with like a 49 and I ended up with a 94. And also, obviously, I graduated, and I I got a chance to walk in the graduation in May. So that was in May of 23. So that was really cool. So yeah, my Harvard years were a lot of fun. There were plenty of ups and downs, but it was such a cool experience. Such a cool experience. So many cool people. Obviously, my professors, um, like the ADS people that I worked with. I I like Nadine and Allison, and um, I I forget what her title was. But Jocelyn Sheridan helped me out tremendously. Wayne Hepler, Lynn Patterson, Dan Rapazzo, like uh, basically all of my professors. Claudia Brown, just absolutely the the best group of people that a person could ask for. It was just such an amazing time. And if if you're all watching this, I really just want to say thank you so much. It means the world to me. And after my graduation, I just I just said to my mom, um let's finish up at Towson. And that is where I will leave you for this episode of my life. Hit if you if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share, all that YouTube stuff. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, this is my life.